All right. So, hello and welcome. Welcome to the masterclass number 3 of The Secret to Manifesting Miracles, Money, Abundance, and healing illnesses. And today in masterclass number 3, we're talking about quantum healing and quantum health. And so, if you have a physical illness, a mental illness, or some sort of emotional trauma that you would like to heal, first I would like you to go into the chat and just give me. I'd like your first name, your last name, and what the condition is. You can put it to me privately if you don't want anybody else to know, or you can send it to so that so that everyone can see it. But I'd like to get an idea of who's on the call, where we're at, so that we can actually do some healings today and show you how the quantum consciousness works in healing physical illnesses and mental illnesses and trauma. And I'm excuse me. I'm going to share with you a little bit about some of my own stories of healings and client stories of healings and how we do that. And I'm also going to share with you about the amazing program, Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion, that combines the 3 pillars of quantum mastery, which is quantum miracles, which is the manifesting piece, which if you want to know more about that, go back to class number 1, understanding how to use the field to manifest, how to can connect in and turn your body into an antenna. Class number 2 was all about quantum money, about the vibration of abundance, where we get stuck, our money story. And I share very deep about my own money crap and the things that happened and showed up in my life. And today, pillar number 3 is quantum healing and health, and how you can instantaneously heal physical illnesses, mental illnesses, and emotional trauma. And how I've seen this happen time and time again all over the world and in my own life. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Melissa Binkley. If you haven't watched the other videos yet, please go back and watch them so you can get some really great information. But today I'm going to share with you a little bit about how I healed my own physical illnesses, my own mental illnesses, and how you can do the same thing. And then, of course, we only have an hour together today, maybe a little bit more, to do this work and this healing. I'm going to share with you the opportunity of how you can join me in this deeper work so that you can really dive into completely transforming your life and completely healing the things that you want to heal, and raise your vibration, raise your life, and create miracles so that you can heal anything. Oops, got to turn that off. So welcome again to everyone. And today, we're going to really be focusing on quantum healing, right? So let's first talk a little bit about trauma. What is trauma? Well, trauma is emotional shock from a stressful event. And why am I starting with trauma? Because most mental illnesses and physical illnesses come from some sort of trauma or traumatic experience in your past that has then stuck in your body or in your mental capacity and has then turned into the disease. It says an estimated 70% of adults in the United States have experienced a traumatic event at least once in their lives. And up to 20% of these people go on to develop post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. And an estimated 5% of Americans, that's more than 13 million people, have PTSD at any given time. Do you have any of you? I have PTSD. I will tell you a little bit about my trauma and my traumatic story, and I'll come back to how I had PTSD, how all the medications that I was on, how that turned into illnesses in my physical body, and all of the things that showed up, and how I was able to heal it. So what is trauma, right? Well, it can be sexual abuse or assault, which I had experienced. It can be physical abuse or assault, which I've also experienced. It can be emotional abuse or psychological maltreatment. I have also experienced that. Neglect, I experienced that. A serious accident, illness, or medical procedure can create trauma. Being a victim or a witness to domestic violence, I also experienced that, or being a victim or witness to community violence. I believe we have all had some experience around that, especially recently with what's going on in the world with Black Lives Matters and the riots and the different things, at least here in the US. And then there's riots also going on in other parts of the world too. Historical trauma, collective consciousness trauma, those types of traumas are from your collective, from the experience of your generations. So if you're Jewish, if you're Black, if you're coming from a country where there's been historical trauma, like those things will get stuck in your body, whether you experienced it personally or not. You can hold on to up to 7 generations of stuff. 7 generations of trauma can be passed down through your DNA into your body. Imagine that. Can you imagine what it's like? Also, school violence, bullying. People don't think bullying is trauma. Yeah. How many of you were bullied as little kids? I know I was. I was a very nerdy, not so cute, pot-bellied little kid who who was super shy, super introverted, and had already experienced so much sexual and trauma and abuse that by the time when I got to school, I got picked on. I was super picked on, big bottleneck glasses and things, right? That can create stories for you. Disasters, natural or man-made disasters, can create trauma. A forced displacement, war, terrorism, political violence. A victim or a witness to extreme personal or interpersonal violence, traumatic grief or separation. I lost my mother at the age of 9 years old. Have you lost someone in your life? Even if it was the loss of a loved partner that was still alive, that can be so traumatic that it can create a PTSD or a trauma response in your body that then turns into a physical illness or a mental illness, or system-induced trauma or re-traumatization. The beautiful thing is that all of these things that you can heal from trauma. Everything is healable. And I know it may not feel like it in the moment, but it can. So if you've experienced any of these types of trauma in your life, or if you have a physical illness or a mental illness that you would like help with, please, again, put it into the chat so that I can see it, so that I can read it, so that I know what I'm working with today when we start to do these healings. We were born and put on this earth to transcend the greatest crises, the greatest challenges in our life. And it begins with us understanding that we are born healing. Some people say that we are born, the moment you are born, you start dying, right? But what I know is that every cell in our body is constantly healing and repairing itself if we step out of the way and allow our bodies to do what they were designed to do. That opens the door to healthy, vital, loving, productive lives. So I'm going to invite you to allow for this possibility in your life if you haven't. In that, just as Louise Hayes says, you can heal your life. In every moment of every day, a conversation is taking place inside of us, one that is vital that we will find ourselves ever engaged in. It's the silent, often subconscious and never-ending conversation of emotion-based signals between the heart and the brain. The reason that this conversation is so important, why do you think? Is because that conversation and the quality of those emotional signals that the heart sends to the brain determines what kind of chemicals are released into our bodies. And when that signal is sent to the brain, and then the brain releases a chemical that then creates a cascade through the body, and that cascade then creates the proteins that your body produces. And those proteins, if they're created because you have negative emotions, they will create bad proteins, and those bad proteins, or they will create this the situation, they're not the right ones. And what happens? You create disease and mental illnesses in your body. So when we feel what we would typically call negative emotions, right? Anger, hate, jealousy, rage, The heart sends a signal to the brain that mirrors our feelings. Those emotions are irregular and chaotic. And this is precisely what the signals they send to your brain look like, right? They're like blah, 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 all over the place. So can you envision a chart that's up and downs in the stock market on a wild and volatile day? You'll kind of have an idea of the kind of signals that we create in our hearts in times of such emotions. And what happens is the body then interprets this kind of signal as a stress, right? And it sets motion mechanics to help us to start to repeat, to respond immediately, right? That flight response, or freeze response. And then what happens is we start to create disease in our bodies. So when we talk about quantum health and healing, we're talking about this branch of experience that is in the quantum that says you can actually heal anything without medications. You can heal PTSD, you can heal trauma, you can heal physical illnesses, you can heal mental illnesses. But we must first stop the reactions and the way that the heart is reacting to the traumas that we've experienced and the way that the brain is reacting. There are 3 new branches of science that have led to an explosion of knowledge about psychological trauma, abuse, and neglect. These disciplines are neuroscience, which is the study of how the brain supports mental processes, right? The study of the impact of adverse experiences on the development of the mind and the brain. There's also developmental physiopathology, and that studies the impact of the adverse experiences on the development of the mind and the brain. And interpersonal neurobiology, which is the study of how our behavior influences the emotions, biology, and mindsets of those around us. Think about this. So not only are you having to deal with what the emotions and the feelings and your own behaviors that are creating stuff in your own body, the behaviors of others around you will shift your biology, emotions, and your mindset. We all have a field, a magnetic field around us. You ever notice when you walk into a room, or when you walk in somewhere and somebody's got a really negative attitude or they're having a bad day and you feel that? Yeah. Why? Because their field is actually affecting yours. And if you're not stable, or if you have trauma responses, you will feel it in your body. Research from these new disciplines have revealed that trauma produces actual physiological changes in your body. What does that mean? It will recalibrate your brain's alarm system, and that increases the stress hormone activity and alterations in the system that filter relevant information from irrelevant information. It also compromises the brain area that communicates with the physical embodied feeling of being alive. What does that mean? That means that when you're having a trauma response or you've had a traumatic experience, even if you don't know anymore that you are having that response, your body, the way that it emotionally reacts to things is going to be different. Do you feel numb? Do you feel depressed all the time? Or do you just kind of feel complacent, right? This way of traumatization makes people become hyper vigilant to threat. So we all have like go-to emotions. Do you worry all the time? Do you feel guilty all the time? Right? I have certain people that I know in my life where, we're starting to open back up from COVID. I've been all over everywhere and nobody's wearing masks. You can go into anywhere. And I still have people that are so fearful and live their lives in such a way that they won't even leave their houses still. Right? Is that actually what's going on for you? Or is it because you're having a traumatic result or an experience in your body that then it shows up in every area of your life? So we want to work on this quantum healing. And the great thing is that we can use our bodies and our brains and our minds to heal anything. So let me tell you a little bit about my story of healing my body, and how I recognized how powerful it was that we could heal ourselves. And I also have on here today a couple of our students and clients that are going to talk about their experiences with the quantum miracles work, so you can really understand how it works. And then we're going to be doing a technique. I'm going to be sharing with you a technique that's going to allow you to tap into your own pain, your own body, so that you can start healing right now. So we got some people in the comments over here that say that, definitely have suffered trauma, medical crisis, PTSD, bullying. We have PTSD again, always felt inferior and was picked on over and over. We have people that want to heal cavities, plantar fasciitis, gut diseases, gut and just digestive issues. Are usually create hormonal issues, and I've worked a lot with people that had a lot of sexual trauma and a lot of different things, and have found that there's a huge connection between that chakras right there, and trauma in that area. So let's see what else comments we have before I go in and really see what everybody is experiencing. Are we live on? Oh no, doesn't look like it's says that we're live. One second, everyone. There it is. Okay, yeah, great. So we are live. Awesome. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and the healings and a couple of different things that I've healed. I've healed my teeth. I had eczema all over my whole body. I had, but I'll go back to the emotional and the traumatic trauma from the trauma from my childhood, from having both sexual abuse at a very young age and before the age of 10, to physical and mental abuse from my family before the age of 10. All of those things created an experience where I was suicidal in my teenage years. And then I was brutally raped at the age of 17. And all of those experiences brought me into a space where my mind and my body were starting to get super sick. So in my late teens and my early 20s, when I was in college, I was diagnosed with PTSD. I was diagnosed bipolar. I ended up hospitalized with panic attacks and panic disorders many times, to the point where I would actually pass out at work and they would have to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital, and they would do EKGs on me and they would find out that it had been a panic attack. I had lumps in my left breast where I was growing cysts. I had cysts on my ovaries where I was growing these. Like, I was so traumatized that I was creating disease all over my body. And then eventually I ended up with eczema and psoriasis all over the entire the entire experience of my body. So by the time I was in my mid 20s, I had a massive eating disorder where I weighed about, not mid 20s, even younger than that, early 20s, where I weighed about 111 pounds. And I'm at this point in my life, I weigh 160, so I'm 5'11". So you can imagine what my body looked like 50 pounds less, where I look like right now. I was super thin, and I had all of these eating disorders. I had gut and digestive issues. I had the eczema all over my body. I mean, to the point where when I would step down, the eczema got so bad that when I would step on the ground, my feet would split open and bleed. I had pus coming out of my hands. I was diagnosed and I was on medications for PTSD, for depression, for being bipolar, all of those things in my early 20s, for the anxiety disorders, everything that I was. I'll be happy to say that now at the age of 42, that I haven't been on a medication for any of that in years. I no longer have PTSD. I no longer have bipolar. I no longer have eczema all over my whole body. I don't have any digestive issues. I don't have issues with my sexual organs. I had a lot of issues with, like I said, I had cysts on my breast, I had cysts on my sexual organs. I had a lot of different challenges going on. And it took me several years of working on healing. And it was a combination for me of different things. Because once it got to be such a physical issue in my body, that not only did I have to work on the emotional things that were going on and the trauma and the experiences and the quantum that were underneath it, but I had to work on the physical side. So I have some amazing nutritional things that I do on top of it. I am a former health coach and holistic hormone therapist. So if you want the nutritional side and you want some of my favorite products and things like that, I can give you more information about that at another time. And those things. But today I want to focus on the quantum side and the quantum healing and how we can energetically heal ourselves. I have also twisted my ankle and been able and had it swell up immediately when I was hiking in the middle of nowhere by myself with a 40-pound backpack on, and been like, I have to be able to keep moving. I can't actually stay here. And was able to energetically heal and put a golden wrapping around my ankle so that it didn't hurt, and swelling went down, and move on. Right? Like, what if you could instantaneously heal yourself when an experience happens, or someone else? I had a friend that broke her foot years ago, and she went and had to have surgery. And I used to do energetic healings on her, and she would immediately, it would start to get better, and she would be able to start to walk around and things. Like, there's ways that with this energetic quantum healing that you can instantaneously heal simple things like sprains and strains, big things like endometriosis. I've had clients that have completely healed endometriosis, hypothyroidism, Graves' disease. I've had physical illnesses completely heal, spinal cord issues, back pain. I had some of you have heard in some of my other stories about the woman that had a stroke, and her face had been was completely the musculation was gone in the side, and it completely healed itself. So these incredible ways of healing our bodies are possible for all of us. And so what I want to first do today, we're gonna start out, and we're gonna do a little bit of tapping into a pain in your body, or a physical pain, or an emotional pain, to see where the core root of it is. We're going to do this little exercise, and then I'm going to give you more techniques, and we're going to talk more about quantum healing. And then at the end of the call, we're going to walk you through this meditation and teach you a process that's going to really help you to, that I want you to take with you. So just the way that our hearts and our brains, the signals of chaos when we feel negative emotions, positive emotions send another kind of signal to our brains that is more regular, more rhythmic and orderly. So in the presence of positive emotions such as appreciation, gratitude, compassion, and caring, the brain releases a very different kind of chemistry into your body, right? When we feel a sense of well-being, this level of stress hormones in our body decreases, while the life-affirming chemistry of a powerful immune system with anti-aging properties increases. So the shift between the stress response and a feeling of well-being can happen quickly. And so what we're gonna do first is I want to show you how you notice the difference between a positive emotion and a negative emotion in your body, because emotions are the key to this piece, to creating this in an experience. And what we do in the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion is we have 9 different techniques that will help you through manifesting abundance, manifesting and creating miracles in your life, working with the field, and also into creating healing in your mind and in your body, so that you can heal physical illnesses and these types of trauma. So I want to teach you how to notice a motion in your body first. So everybody take a moment, and I want you to close your eyes. Okay. Just go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to remember one of the happiest, most intense, most positive experiences in your life. Go back to a moment in time. Maybe it was when you had some really great news, or maybe when you walked outside and you were walking on the beach and you just remember this moment, or maybe it was a wedding, or the birth of a child, or the moment you remember falling in love. Oh, it was just go to a moment in time when you feel that experience. And what I want you to do is I want you to notice, with your eyes closed and in your mind's eye, where do you notice that picture in your mind? Is it in front of you? Is it to the left? Is it to the right? Where do you notice it? Is it vibrant? Is it subdued colors? Do you see clearly or not? And what is the feeling? Is it gratitude? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it appreciation? Notice where that feeling is in your body. Is it in your heart? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your throat? Is it in your arms? No, just notice. And then what color is that feeling in your body? And all emotions, not only do they have a color, they have a direction or a way that they move. So is this feeling, is it moving up? Is it down? Is it sideways? Is it spiraling? Is it pulsing? What's the movement of this emotion in your body? This is how it's stored in your system, a positive emotion, right? Now, when you have trauma or PTSD or a negative experience, you're going to notice something different than this feeling that you have right now and these colors and these emotions. So I want you to come on, shake that off. Good job. Now we're going to use a negative experience. So caveat here, I'm not able to work with you one-to-one, and this is a group experience where I don't know who everybody that's on this call. So when I ask you to go into a negative experience, please do not do a traumatic experience. Just think of something negative, like somebody yelling at you the other day, or when you were pissed off driving your car, or something simple, something easy, not a super difficult one today. Okay, when you come in and work in the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion with me, we'll dive deep into those real traumatic experiences. I've had some people that I've worked with. I had a woman that had been tied up and raped for 12 years in a basement, that came in, that worked in one of our groups and was able to heal from that experience. That's kind of stuff we do privately in our deeper groups, right? Because I can work with you on a different level. Here, I'm kind of just, I'm going to bring some people on to share today and do some things like that. I want you to use a negative experience that's just light, a light negative experience, because I need you to understand the difference between how your body holds a positive experience and a negative experience, because that's the first level to healing physical illnesses, mental illnesses, and trauma. Okay. So again, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to just think of some simple, easy, negative experience that you had in your life. And I want you to, again, notice the picture that shows up in your head. When you close your eyes, where do you see it? Is the picture darker? Is it lighter? Is it brighter? Is it smaller? Is it bigger? Where is it positioned different in your head? And then where is the feeling in your body this time? And what is the color of it and the direction of it? I'm moving faster through the negative experience because I don't want to keep us in negative experiences. I just want you to notice it and see the difference, because it's super powerful to understand these things. And then I want to know, is that place in your body? Do you have a disease there? Do you have a pain there? Do you have something going on in that experience? Okay, come up out of it. I want now for you to share. What did you notice between the difference between your physical experience of the positive and of the negative? Does somebody want to either share in the chat, or even more, would love for you to unmute yourself and say hello and share with me what you noticed about the difference between those two.
Hello.
Who wants to share? So Molly says the positive was lighter and brighter, and it was all in my face like a bright smile. Yeah, awesome. And I'll tell you, sometimes people's positive is lighter and brighter. I have one woman that I worked with, one of my former students, that her bright positive stuff was dark colors. So there's no right or wrong. Like her dark, and I can tell by her personality, she really liked those dark colors and stuff. And so for her, it was a positive feeling in dark colors. So anyone else, like, what was the difference between the negative and the positive for you? Okay, and then Tracy says she didn't see or feel anything on either positive or negative. So then Tracy, what I would say is that you might be in what we call a freeze mode or a numb mode, where you're not able to, you're not accessing your feelings yet. And so we've got to actually work on getting you to a place where you can access those emotions. When we have traumatic experiences, or when we're held back, or when we're stopped, we don't even recognize our own emotions or what's going on or where they're at. But there's ways that we can activate that for you, because if you can't feel a negative emotion or a positive emotion, you'll never be able to manifest, because the emotions are what help you to connect to the field to manifest and heal. So Susan says she couldn't see positive color, but she couldn't see the color, but the positive was in her cheeks and the negative was in her back. Great. So you're starting to notice where they are in your body. And then we have Molly, who said that the negative was darker and almost more red. And it was near my chest, but I don't think I have any trauma there. That's okay. You may not necessarily have any trauma where it's being held. Or have a physical or mental illness or anything in that space, but it could be causing issues somewhere else in that experience. Great. So we're going to go, and before we head on to the next thing, I have a couple of people. I want to bring on Mauricio. So Mauricio is an amazing student of ours at the Academy, who has been worked with us in one of our programs last year. I'm going to cancel the spotlight, and I'm going to bring him in. Hi, Mauricio. How are you doing?
Hi, Melissa. Doing great. Thank you for having me.
How are you? Says that you're not muted.
Hello. Let me try this. Hold on.
Okay, let's see if this works better. Hi, Melissa.
I see your lips moving, but I don't hear you. So.
Mute again. Hi, Melissa.
You're unmuted. Yeah. Oh, yes. You can hear them. Everybody else can hear him, but I can't hear him.
Oh.
Well, that's weird. Okay, well, I can't hear you, but since everyone else can, how about you tell all of the wonderful people there about tell them about your experience working in the Quantum Miracles program, and what you took away from it. And now I know why I can't hear you. I can hear you now. Great.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Melissa. So nice to see you and talk to you.
Great to see you too.
Yes. So at the end of last year, I had one of those work experiences in a very toxic environment that I didn't really last that long. And fortunately, I'm also a yoga teacher. So with my yoga, I knew that was not good for me, right? So I left. And there was a sequence of family events that I knew I had to deal with while I was not working. But with your help in the Quantum Miracles program that I was in, I started literally manifesting in my mind, imagining what I needed. And towards the end of the year, by January, when everything had settled and all the things that I had to take care of had been taken care of, suddenly out of the blue, I did get this call from somebody I had talked to 5 years ago. I mean, not somebody I had been in touch with at all, offering me a contract with exact amount of money that I was looking for. That would definitely be what I needed at the moment. So it was one of those things that you ask for, and suddenly, first I asked for it at the wrong time. So the answer was, not yet. Let's wait. And when it was time, it came. But it was one of those things out of the blue. So it really, really made me think about it and realize that there was a reason why I had to be not working and available for my family. My mother was having heart surgery. I was having family coming from other countries, all at the same time, that if I had been working would have been difficult.
Yeah, right. And you had quit your job right before you came into the program, right? Like 2 weeks before you came into the program.
I had just quit this toxic, horrible job that I had, that I hated.
And you wanted to do more yoga. You wanted to start building your yoga practice, but you still wanted to be able to replace your income
Yep.
that you were making from your corporate job in another way. And that's why you were like, part of what you were dreaming about your manifestation is you wanted specific. I wanted to work from home. I didn't want to travel
Yep.
anymore. I wanted to
Yep.
have this time, like,
And
you
the
know,
amount. Yeah.
and the amount, right? And you didn't even have to interview for this, right? Like it just came
No.
to you for the
No.
referral. Like it just appeared.
It just appeared. It was a
Yeah.
phone call. Hey, can you start Monday? We need you for this job. Somebody who I had not talked to in years.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
And I love that you said the universe said not yet, because what I teach, one of the things that I say is that the universe answers your prayers, your manifestations in one of three ways. It says yes, yes, but not now, or no, something better. And the yes is yeah, you get exactly what you want to manifest and you get it right now because all of the things are aligned for you to have it right now. Or yes, but not now because no, you don't know why you don't need it right now, but we know that you need to do something or something's going to happen where you need to wait to have this thing that you want, like, which is what happened with you because your mother being sick, right? And you being able to have that time for her. Or the no, something better. Sometimes we're denied things that we think we want so bad. And the universe says, no, I don't want you to have that because there's something greater waiting for you that you don't even know. And I challenge everyone to look back over their lives for a moment or two and think about how has the universe actually showed up in that way for you, So, but I also, and I love Maurizio because you posted in the group the other day, and I like to be super transparent about this work is, Maurizio came back and he says, I need to dive back in and do more work, right? Because it's like a muscle that you build. Things will be going, you'll be manifesting, you'll be creating things. And then sometimes we slip off or we feel like things aren't go, or things are moving in a different direction. And you're like, how do I dive back in? How do I keep doing this work? Because it's an experience of an everyday thing, right? Like we have to keep building that muscle and become a walking meditation to where things stay in flow. But even myself, I move into experiences where I'm like, damn, what happened there? Like it's not happening for me. And that's why what we're doing in the Quantum Miracles, the Mastery, the Immersion and things is like daily accountability into like, how do we like put this into our bodies and so that it's there with us every day, right? So
yeah, it's a practice. Yeah, it's a practice. And sometimes you fall off and you come back and
that's
revisit.
okay.
Yeah. But the next time it's easier because
it's way easier.
And you trust.
Yep, you trust, and I've had people that have been in our programs, like I have a 1-year program and different things like that, where you never actually go back to where you were. Even if you feel like you've slipped a little bit, you're still at a higher level. And then when you go back in and start doing the work again, you just jump to another level and it compounds on itself. It's like compounding interest.
Yep. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's a different, and it gave me a different level even for my yoga classes.
Yes.
I teach my class at a different level. I can go into this while I'm guiding meditations and mindfulness for my students.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maurizio.
Thank you.
I always love seeing your beautiful shining face and saying hello.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. And so everybody, I want to talk a little bit more about what we're doing in the Quantum Miracles Mastery before we go on to our next, the next exercise that we're going to be doing. So the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion, we start on Sunday. And what it starts with is we're literally diving into these 3 pillars to have you have experiences just like Maurizio did, which is completely create and manifest things in your life, heal the things that you want. And it's very unique about this program because in the 9 weeks that we're together, not only are we having the 9 weeks of live trainings together where I'm coaching you and training you, and it's not just like here where I'm just talking to you, we'll do deeper work. We'll be working and interacting together on the calls and creating that. So you have that experience where we spend an hour and a half together on a weekly basis, creating that space, doing those healings, and learning the techniques. And then also you have weekly meditations on Sundays, your meditation for the week. And the meditations are quick and easy, no more than 10 to 15 minutes, that will train your brain into creating and healing trauma. So you'll heal PTSD and trauma. You'll be able to train your brain to manifest, because the key, again, if you go back to class number 1 and understand the key to manifesting is the coherence that you create in alignment with your pineal gland, your heart, the field, the earth, that you've got to train your body, train your brain into that. So we have these weekly quantum meditations that you will be doing on a daily basis. You have video and audio tutorial that goes with that. And then you have these worksheets and workbooks and play experiences where you're going to go in and start to unravel the places where you're stuck and create and get clarity around your intentions and how you're going to heal the things that you want to heal. So those are just some of the things that we're doing in the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion. I put the link in the comments here, so you can go over and start checking out, and we'll talk about that here a little bit more in a minute. But I want to bring on, I've got somebody else on here that I want to talk to. Laura, how are you, darling? You're muted. Can I unmute you? Let's see if we got her. And do I have Gina on actually?
Okay, how about now?
Oh, there's Laura. Okay, there's Laura, and then we'll go to Gina now.
I am so sorry, guys. I wanted to come on with my face and everything, but I'm driving back from the chiropractor, and I realized that the call was a different time that I had in my brain. So
that's okay.
I really am excited. I'm so excited to tell you something. Like, I just had to say this. Like, you guys, I did not have, Melissa, you know this, I didn't have a dime to pay for this course, right? Remember, I took it and I was like, okay, I just did one of those things. I'm going to jump in, I'm going to do it. And she let me do a payment plan, and I did that. And I just did a trust that this money was going to come and everything was going to be okay. And you know what? It showed up. It showed up because I committed and I stayed with this program, and it was the most amazing thing. And one of the things I just really wanted to impart to everybody is that, the stuff that Melissa teaches is so simple, and that's the thing that's coolest, is that it's simple. It's not like you have to get real complex. You can every day, like even in your quantum meditations, it's a simple thing every day. Every day you do one exercise, you implement it, you do it again and again, and it's memorable. You do it, it just works. And so anyway, in this course, we put out a goal, and I just needed, a small lump sum of money, but I needed it, really needed it. And I got it within what, 4 weeks of the class. I manifested the money, and then the other thing you asked us to do was like to say, okay, what about like a monthly income? And I manifested. I didn't know what I wanted. I wrote down like 4,000 a month, and then I was like, no, 7. I don't know, 4. No, I don't know, 7. And I kept going back and forth, and I'm like, okay, universe, I'm just gonna do what she says to do, and I'm just gonna let you tell me what I'm supposed to have. I didn't feel good enough to have 4,000 or 7,000 or whatever it was. But you know what? It ended up being 7,000 a month. It came to me, and it's an amazing manifestation. And this was from me just diligently doing the work. And I was slow, guys. Like, I did not I couldn't keep up, and information was coming at me, and I'm one of those processors. I gotta dissect and do everything instead of just doing the work quickly and following through. But I stuck with it anyway, and I stayed with the program, and I'm telling you, it was worth every penny. Anything that Melissa does, I follow. Every time she's on Facebook doing anything, I secretly listen in the back. If I can't jump on and be live, I still come back and follow it. She is amazing. So I hope that was helpful.
Thanks. Awesome. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, I love Laura because what I love is, and the thing here that I talk about is, it's about commitment, right? Like, when you show up for yourself, the universe shows up for you. And both Maurizio and Laura, they showed up, they committed to the process, and they committed to being in the program, and they committed to really showing. And both of them were in. So this program that we're doing has the 3 pillars: the quantum miracles, the quantum money, and the quantum healing. Maurizio was in quantum miracles, Laura was in quantum money, and so this program actually combines the 3 of them together. So there's experiences from 2 of our other programs that are part of this program. So super excited to hear that, and thank you so much for sharing with that. So when you come into and work in this, like today we're talking about PTSD and healing our bodies. And so I want to do another technique with you guys right now, and then we'll go in and talk a little bit more about, you know, some of the gifts and the bonuses that I have for you guys today, for being here, and what you can get when you come in and join us for the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion. But right now, for those of you that have a pain in your body or a trauma that you want to work on, we're going to go in and we're going to actually see what that piece of your body is saying. And this process, part of this process, this is a part of a process that I use, that I teach, that they use with cancer associations. We've had, so we have a certification training called Intuitive Intelligence Certification, that we have doctors and psychologists and coaches and healers that actually use these processes in with their healing work. And we've had people from cancer organizations that run cancer organizations, and different associations that actually use this work with in those experiences to help people to heal. So this is really powerful stuff here. Excuse me. So again, I want you all to just close your eyes. And I want you to focus on and find the pain in your body. Where is it? The one that you want to focus on today, whether it's in your tooth or in your stomach or in your hip. And first, I want you to just sit into that pain, and I want you to notice it. What color is it? What direction is it moving? And start to give it acceptance and loving, healing intention. One of the reasons the pain is there is because it's there to share with you or teach you something, or it's trying to talk to you literally, but we're not listening. And sometimes just allowing it to talk to you will immediately release that pain. I've had people completely heal back pains. So as you're sitting there and sending loving acceptance to this part of your body that is in pain, and maybe it's an emotional pain and it's in your head, right? Wherever that pain is. And then I want you to imagine, or if this body part, if this part of you had a mouthpiece, if it had a voice box, if it could speak its truth to you, what would it say right now? What does it want you to know? Just breathing into that spot, sending it acceptance and listening to the message that it has for you for right now. In the Quantum Miracles Mastery Immersion, we go deeper into this process, and we'll actually find out where it started, the root cause, what is stuck in there so that it can release it. But this just here, letting it speak to you and talk, will release so much energy around this disease, this pain, this challenge, this emotion that's stuck in your body. What is it experiencing? What is it saying? What does it want you to know so that you can heal this now? Do you feel it? Do you notice it? And then just thank that part of yourself for the message, for loving you, for telling you. And just start to breathe in and release and let it go. What did you notice? You can share in the chat if you want. Or you can share by coming on. What does it want you to know? Did you notice? Awesome.
Hello.
Hi. Yes. Would you like to share?
Hi. So I noticed when right away the pain went away.
Awesome. Yeah. Because you were sending it loving intention, right?
Yeah, that's pretty
Mhm.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. And who is this who we were talking to?
It's Gina.
Oh, there, it's Gina. Okay, I was like, that sounds really familiar. that voice. Awesome, Gina. So Gina has also been in our Quantum Miracles program and has worked with me privately. Gina, can you share a little bit about what's been going on for you and your experience and what you've noticed?
Absolutely. So I am no stranger to working with the energetics, but the quantum level is super powerful, and Melissa has made it so easy. Working one-on-one, my soul decided to dive in pretty deep, pretty fast. And with that has cleaned up a lot of trauma and also a lot of money. And when with what businesses are going through, I own my own business. Businesses around me are shutting down, and yet I have more money than I ever have with less staff, and loving working on cleaning up more and more. But what I love is it's so simple. And yes, what your caller was saying before, your last student, Laura, is you got to do the work, but it's super easy. And it's just valuing myself to know I deserve it and trust it. And the more and more I do that, the more I'm seeing everything open.
Yeah.
Or bigger and more, prosperity and self-trust is super huge and something we're working on as well.
Mhm.
But it's this inner strength and this inner confidence that I have started noticing more and more as we're working through our stuff. So, and also what your caller said was, and I was like, oh, she's taking my notes. I didn't know where the money was coming from. And when we first started, I was closed and I had nothing coming in. And now there is abundance coming in. And like I told you earlier, let's just pay this off, because why have it lingering? And that was something I was like, yay, not knowing where it was going to come from. And voila.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
So
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing, because I just, I believe it's, super powerful to understand how this work is incredible. And and of course, there's so many different ways out there to do things. And what I do love is that people say the techniques, they are simple, that anybody can do them. You don't have to have been doing this work for a really long time. You can have been, and I also have people that said, I've tried it all. I've tried everything else. And now I'm finally finding something that works for me. And that's really a key. So let's see what some of these other people said about what was going on. I have over here. There was, I feel pain. I feel the pain in my truth. I couldn't, she said she could actually feel the pain, in the body, and that the negative was gray and small. Molly said she focused on her jaw and teeth, and the color was gray and was moving in circles. And as she focused on it, the colors changed to orange, then yellow, and then the movement stopped. And it was like a calm vibration in the entire area. And I also felt the jaw relax. amazing, right? Like just on what we did, like 2 or 3 minutes, and already people are saying I'm feeling the relaxation, right? Or feeling the pain starting to go away. Um, Diane says it felt black and said to take better care of me. And then I felt it relaxed just by witnessing with love. So Diane, my question is, how can you take better care of yourself? Because I bet you're somebody that takes a lot of care of other people, right? How many of us do that? What are you going to be willing to do for yourself that is going to allow you to step into that and relax? Susan says the pain in her occipital nerve heightened, and she felt the energy in her cheeks, and the pain was like a wave moving around and up, right? So we have these different feelings, and so then we can learn, like, what is it the pain saying to us? What is it telling us to do? How is it telling us to heal, right? Like I used to have a pain in my side, and when I did this work, the message that kept coming to me was just stop. And it was because I would not stop. I would just go, right? And I actually ended up tearing my hamstring running. We're getting to training for a half marathon because I wouldn't stop. Just stop. And it wasn't just about stopping physically. It was literally stop everything in my life, just stop. So where are, we can use the pain and the healing to understand and not only in this, but for those of you that are healers or are like, we're going to be learning techniques that you can actually use to help others to heal. We use the intention and the what we call our quantum sun, and you can actually send energetic healings to other people. We can use the field to heal the world, to heal others, to heal ourselves. And how powerful would that be? How many of you would want to help heal the world right now? How many of you want to heal your minds and your bodies? How many of you are ready to let go of the trauma and the pain? Say yes, because I want to know who's ready. Hell yes, right? Right, yes. Ready to let go of it. And if we want the world to heal, the way that it starts is we must heal within ourselves, our own trauma, our own experiences, our own things that are going on and that are happening. And that is going to be such an incredible and powerful experience for each of us, because that's the only way. So when we talk about so theory says that the root of what we now call PTSD, right, which is 20% of people that have trauma end up with PTSD. And whether you have PTSD or not, like I did, that traumatic experience is it's stuck in our body. But PTSD is an intense emotional arousal that happens. And after having been traumatized, people automatically keep repeating certain actions, emotions, and sensations related to trauma. So this is why veterans, right? Veterans have, or people that are in acute, like if you're in a car accident where something really tragic happens, or, the sexual trauma or things like that, where all of a sudden your brain actually gets stuck in the time and keeps thinking you're in that experience over and over and over again. And it's funny because traumatized people simultaneously remember too little and too much. And there are differences between an ordinary and a traumatic memory. And what we do in our program is we actually go in and we do what's called recoding memories. So we can recode the memory that created the trauma in the first place, and that traumatic memory that is precipitated by a specific trigger, right? So we can get rid of the trigger by recoding the memory. And thereby you no longer have to reenact the story in your body over and over again, because you won't even know that you're doing it. Maybe you wake up in the morning and you don't even recognize that you're being triggered, but you're screaming at your kids. You're like, why am I screaming at my kids? Or you get up and you scream at your partner for some reason, or you have an experience. I remember, and this is one way that I recognize, like I've done so much healing, but probably about 9 months ago, I was watching a movie on TV, and it had a brutal rape scene in it, and I hadn't had a traumatic trigger around that for a really long time, but the scene triggered something so deep in me, that was something I still had to heal, that I was literally in my house crying and shaking on my couch, right? Around this thing, and had to call somebody to come sleep in my bed with me because I didn't want to be alone. And I've done tons of work on myself, and and there's still layers of things that happen. So you might not, and I knew what my trigger was. Like I knew that was a trigger, but you might not know. You might be walking down the street and you hear a voice, or you hear somebody say something, or something that your partner says or your child says triggers something in you, and you don't even know that you're having a response to something from your past. Instead, you just think you're pissed off or angry, or think you're sad and depressed. Also, did you know that we have in our homes, we have energetic signatures in the actual field? So if you have a bad day and get angry, that signature stays in the field in your house. And every time you walk through that part of your house, you actually walk through that energetic signature. And all of a sudden you can become sad or depressed or angry or mad again. You got to learn how to clear those things from your house. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing in the Quantum Miracles Mastery program. So in the Quantum Miracles Mastery program, and what I want all of you to know and share and see is that I'm going to share my screen here with you for a little bit so we can talk about what we're going to be doing in this program, right? Where we're going to be doing that. So we're going to be going through and really removing the blocks that are keeping you stuck in just a matter of days, sometimes even minutes. You're going to actively be doing healing and manifesting processes so that you can shift your life quickly and create what you want. And what we do is we give you a system and a structure for transformation, for freedom, and the ability to heal trauma. When you do those things, you're able to see a bigger picture. You can make more money. You can heal physical illnesses. You can heal mental illnesses, and you can live in gratitude. And guess what? Even have better relationships. You know how many people have taken our programs that are now in the relationship of their dreams? Some have gotten married, things like that, because they have healed all of the blocks that are in the way of them creating the lives that they want. So what is it that you want? Do you want a better relationship? Do you want more money? Do you want to find your purpose, your divine purpose in your life, right? We're going to teach you how to really access the deep states of intuition, enter your levels of the soul and psyche. And you can come over and come onto this page with me and really check it out, because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you guys several bonuses for this program. And we start on Sunday, so this is the last time I'm offering it out. This is the third class, and we'll be offering it after that. You can find out online. You can sign up all the way up until Sunday if you want, but when you sign up today, you get some extra bonuses with us. We have a great group already getting ready to go, and I'm super excited. But we can learn how to access your intuition, how to access the collective consciousness, because that's what's going to help heal the world. How can we actually connect into the collective so that we can shift the field for the whole world and not just for ourselves? We are going to work on creating coherence in the body so that you can be a master manifester and step into the consciousness of manifesting and infinite potentials. We will learn how to really create manifestation, the healing techniques that go with you, and you can heal physical illnesses. How many of you would like to get rid of a back pain or a hormonal issue or migraines, or like I did, heal my teeth completely, right? So I didn't have to have surgery. And then like my clients that were just on, they were talking to students, what if you could get rid of your biggest fears and your doubts and your insecurities and let go of the limiting beliefs that have you stuck? This work is super powerful into helping you in your life. And if you're a healer or a coach or a doctor or somebody else, the techniques that you use as you use for yourself will allow you to heal others. And so what we're doing is, everything that we're going to be working together, we start on Sunday, and you'll be getting your live, your video trainings for your meditations, to train your brain. You're going to get step-by-step guides and instructions for creating in the quantum. We have an online private forum and group where we're going to be connecting. We're going to be doing weekly experiments, connecting them with the field. Every week, you're going to be manifesting something and creating something in your life weekly. And the platform is off of Facebook. So we have a new platform that we're using. So you don't have to be on Facebook. You get your own app on your phone and on your computer. You can also, do it through the URL where you're going to connect with us on a daily basis to keep into the experience. So that we can work into these 3 areas. So you're going to have that. You're going to have an accountability partner that you're going to be connecting with. You get to connect with them through the app. You can connect with them through voice and video, or texting, so that you can keep in contact with how well are you doing with your daily meditation, right? 10 to 15 minutes, and you don't have to know how to meditate to do it. We'll also have weekly energetic healings and transmissions. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to be doing energy healings and transmissions for you. I'll be spending time taking in what it is that you need when you're healing, and I will be sending out energetic healings and transmissions. Those will be once a week also. Whether you're on it live or you watch the video afterwards, or you just send me the information about what you want a healing around, it'll be included in that healing realm. And I've had people that have completely healed things just from doing the energy healings and the transmissions. You'll also have daily guidance and videos and lessons from me, written things that will allow you to really learn how to activate your manifesting powers, your superhuman abilities, and get you into alignment. What if you could become superhuman? So what we're doing today is not only am I giving you this program, right, which is worth thousands of dollars, and we're going to give you a huge discount on it, but I'm also going to give you my master money creation formula, which the program price on that is $777, not $333. But our quantum money mastery formula is over on our membership platform, and that is a 6-week course. You get that as part of your thing for this, and a ticket to our Transform Live retreat, which will be in California here in 2021. And we did sell the tickets for those in everywhere from $777 to $997. So those two alone are over $1,700 in bonuses that we're giving to you to go along with this program, because I want you to be able to say yes to that. We have a payment plan program, and we also have a pay in full. And if you pay in full, today, I will also give you a one-to-one session with me. As you heard from Gina and and other people that have worked with me one-to-one, you can have some incredible healings right away. My fees are $1,000 an hour, and you'll get to work with one-to-one with me. So it's actually, when you pay for the program, you can look at it either way. With your payment, you're getting, the value of just working with me for that session is more than the value of the whole program together. So what I want to do now is I want to take some questions from each of you as we work in. So instead of this program with all of the bonuses that we have, and I've got a couple more for you, all the bonuses that we have for you, and the value of the program is over $5,000, and what we're going to give it to you today is for less than $1,000. So for less than $1,000, you can get a ticket to our Transform Retreat Live. You can get the Quantum Money Mastery formula, plus this program, the energetic healings, the weekly calls, the quantum meditations, the step-by-step instructions, the group with us, and also the other bonus for everybody that signs up today. I'm going to add 2 months in our Sacred Circle. So the Quantum Miracles Immersion Sacred Circle is a bi-weekly call where we go on and we do deep healings and really deep work. And that program I've been running for several years, and it is $500 a month, and you get 2 months free with this. So that's another $1,000. So there's all of these amazing things that you can do when you come over and you check this out. So I'm going to take questions from each of you as I stop this share, and find out what it is that you want to know about coming into this program. How can I support you in this quantum healing work? Or if you have a specific question around one of your own pains or traumas and want to do a little bit more work around that, I can share with you and give you that work there too. So how can I support you? Alice says, yes, I do. I want more. Yes. Into working with this. So the key here is to really step into your quantum consciousness. How are you going to step into that for yourself? What is holding you back? Like, from stepping in and saying yes to yourself, right? Is it a money thing? Is it a fear that you can't do it the way that you want? Like, what is it that keeps you from taking the next step into your healing and into your change? If you have something that's holding you back, you can message me privately, and I can work with you to see what is the best option for you into really stepping into yourself and into this healing work. As we do that, I'm going to share a little bit more about some of the other people that have come into this program and some of the things that they have said. Dawn, who was on our last call, said that the quantum mastery opened her up to miracles. And she's somebody that works in the quantum and energy all of the time. And she says that, I have this amazing energy, and she ended up deciding to show up to every single one. And she was able to finally create her Etsy store and sell crystals. And she was able to feel confident and ready to move forward and know that she's abundant. Bob Berg, who is the author of the international bestseller, The Go-Giver, has worked with me and been on stages with me and actually spoke at one of my conferences, and said that my work is super powerful in transformation, and that he can see stadiums with over 20,000 people being in there. And that's my goal, right? To take this work to millions of people and really shift the world. Brian Smith, who is the founder of UGGs, it talks about this work and said it's brilliant in changing the world. So how is it that you approach to healing inflammation and digestive issues? So my approach to all of the healing work together is a combination. It is on an energetic level, finding out what the emotional core is, getting to where the trauma started that created the emotional issue in the first place, and getting to the core root, and then healing the energy around it, and then the physical things that go with it. So whether it needs to be nutritional, things like that. So what they have found, and let's talk about that a little bit, because this is a great question. What they have found is that a disease is in your field around you, in your auric field. They can actually test for the disease in the field around you before it shows up in your body. So they will know if you're going to get cancer before you get cancer when they test the field. If a digestive issue or inflammation will show up in your field around you before it shows up in your body. A broken bone, even. You think you're in an accident and your bone breaks, right? Oh, I stepped off of a curb and I snapped my ankle. But guess what? That break was actually in your energetic field before it actually broke your bone. So what we have to do is we have to heal the energy field around you using the quantum sun, using our energetic work, and then also tap into the core, the trauma, the emotion that is underneath it, to find out where it started, what happened there, and that's sometimes we got to go on do timeline work, go in different experience. So we're doing a combination, and then because it's now in the physical, sometimes we have to add in a layer of physical stuff. And although this program does not have nutrition and health coaching in it, I do have that information available to you so that you can find out more about the nutritional or physical side of things, if you have a physical illness that needs some other type of nutritional support. So I hope that helps you with that question about approach to healing different issues such as inflammation or digestive issues or cancer or different things like that. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Do we have any other questions? So again, I want to remind you, go over to the link is here in the comments for you. Go over here and check it out. And when you sign up today, if you pay in full, you'll get a one-to-one session with me. If you need a payment plan, that's okay. If you have more questions on that page, you can also, it says, click to talk to a clarity coach. You can go in there and you can schedule time to talk to one of our coaches about if this program is right for you, or you can stay on in here and talk with me. And the bonuses that I'm offering for you when you sign up today, you get the 2 months in our Sacred Circle. And then everybody that signs up is also getting a ticket to Transform Live. Our next conference is in 2021. And we have people that have incredible instantaneous healings at our retreat, Transform Live. They'll be here in California next year, because we're waiting for the whole COVID thing to end, because we had to cancel this year's. And then also you'll get the Quantum Money Mastery Program to start diving into right away. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead. I forgot to record this. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we'll have to figure that out. Okay, thank you all, everyone, so much. And again, I'll stay on for a few minutes in case you have any questions for me or anything that you want to know. And if there's anything else, thank you, Julianne. Anything else that you want to know, please let me know, and we can speak, or you can go over to us. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Dun, dun.